Hi guys, and welcome back. And we're getting munched out on another New Orleans favorite, some jambalaya. I actually used this recipe on Food Network, the Grapefruit Truck Race Season 11 when I competed in New England, and I want to teach you guys how to do it. It's also going to be in my upcoming cookbook, so look out. So I'm going to start by heating up my quart pot. And I have about 4 cups of chicken stock. So I'm making rice. So the coordinates of which you usually make rice with your cup to 2 cups of liquid to your cup of rice I'm going to use. So I have my white rice. This is long grain white rice that I'm using. It's just the white rice that we use in Louisiana. So it's the one that I'm using now. If you have another rice you like to use, don't be afraid. And I have my andouille sausage. This is the sausage that we use in Louisiana because it has a lot of fat in it, so it helps add flavor to your meal. We're all about building flavors here, right, guys? So let's continue building. We have my chicken. I took chicken breast and sliced them up into bite-sized pieces. It's a little bit bigger than bite sizes because when it cooks down, it's going to get a little smaller. And I have my bay leaves. We like to use bay leaves when we're cooking things that are going to be cooked for a long time. I have my fresh frozen season blend. These are the season blend that I'm using. If you guys want to take the time and chop up your seasoning blend, you can, but my recipe is always simple and easy. I have my tomato base, not just the regular tomato base. Like I said, I like to build flavor, so my tomato base has basil, oregano, and garlic already in it. So that helps build the flavor on top of the jambalaya. And I have my tomato puree. These things are to help to add color. If you ever heard of jambalaya before, it's a red rice with delicious meat all in through it using Cajun seasonings. I have my pot. I am going to turn my pot on, put a little bit of oil in my pot just so that my meat does not stick to the bottom of it. I'm actually using vegetable oil. If you guys are Southern cooks, then you probably have a little bit of vegetable oil that you already used before for a meal. Put on the side, and that's what I'm going to use. Just going to heat it up a little bit, and then I'm going to add my andouille sausage. So I'm adding the andouille sausage before I add the chicken so that the andouille sausage can add grease to that pot so that my chicken does not stick to the bottom of my. So after I add my chicken and sausage, I want to brown them, get a nice little color to them, and help release the flavor of it. I'm going to season this meat. So I have my cayenne pepper. I have my garlic powder. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm only going to add a little bit of salt because I also have store-bought chicken broth. And that broth can be a lot of salt added into its own thing. So I only put a little bit of salt at a time. And I'm just going to taste it as I go and add salt if need be. I'm also going to add now my fresh frozen seasoning blend. Y'all, I did not make this word up. It actually says fresh frozen on the pack. So this is the garlic, the onions, the bell peppers, and the celery. We call this the Holy Trinity. This pack actually has red bell peppers in it also, but that's okay. So once we get those frozen vegetables all cooked down with our sausage and our chicken, we're going to cook it down, get a nice kind of brown to it. It doesn't have to be too much brown to where it's like, burnt a little bit. No, we want it soft. So then I'm going to add my rice. And I'm going to just mix my rice up lightly just to get all that flavor that was in the bottom of my pot all incorporated in my rice. And I'm going to add my chicken stock. After I add my chicken stock, give it a quick swish just to make sure nothing at the bottom of that pot. And now we're about to do the best thing we can do with jambalaya, and that's make this jambalaya red by adding a whole can of our tomato puree and just 2 tablespoons of our tomato paste. The tomato paste will actually thicken our pot, so that's why we're not adding the whole can. So you see what I'm doing with my tomato puree? I'm going to add some of that water to the can just to make sure we're getting all the rest of it out of there because we need all that. We want all of that. And then again, I'm going to take my tomato paste, about 2 tablespoons of my tomato paste, and add that to my jambalaya. Then I'm going to add my top on my jambalaya and let this cook for about 45 minutes or until your rice is dry and absorbed all this delicious flavor. But before we add that top to it, we're going to season this bad boy. And the best thing to season your thing with, I like to start off with a little bit of hot sauce. Look, the best hot sauce, Tabasco, the pepper sauce. We're going to add a little dash, a little splash of that in there, as much as you like. And while we add nice spicy stuff, might as well add our cayenne pepper. So I like to season my pot and add everything into the pot. I like to, when I season, I don't season in one spot. I put all over the pot so that I know it's touching every bit. And when I stir it up, not too hard. I also like to do fresh black peppercorn with my little grinder thing. My little grinder thing has little settings on it where I can like make the peppercorn as thick or as fine as I want it to be. I'm going to put on this fineness setting and put it in there all around my pot. A little shake, a little razzle. If you want the exact ingredients, the exact measurements of what I'm using, please be on the lookout for my cookbook. It's coming soon, The Holiday Hustle by Chef T, and I want to see you guys get into this. So I'm going to continue seasoning my pot. Now I'm about to add my delicious complete season. So this is my complete season. I find this in the Hispanic stores. It has completely everything that you would want a complete season. I don't put that much because I do add my own seasoning on top of this seasoning blend. And the last bit of seasoning I use is some salt. I like to get my pot hot and bubbling and boiling. You guys can see, start seeing the seasoning moving around because it's a nice high boil to it. When I get my water nice high boil, I like to turn it down. When I turn it down, I like to put that lid on there and let it cook for about 45 to 30 minutes. And you'll come up with something like this. Ooh, so delicious. I am just going to stir this up, give it a quick stir, and get ready to serve. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh my God, I just can't get over how beautiful this looks. If you're cooking this in your house, I already know how delicious your house smells. We usually serve our jambalaya with fried fish. You can serve it with chicken. You can serve it whatever you want. And you can also make it vegetarian by not adding any meat to it at all. Let me give this a good taste. And thank you guys for getting munched out with me today. Look out for my cookbook, again, The Holiday Hustle. Like, share, and comment this video. And thank you guys for getting munched out with me today.